Twitch are making changes, and it's another one of these instances where I get to say, yeah, I told you so. I told you what was coming. I told you how it was going to be, and that is that Twitch, ever since it's been owned by Amazon, have been looking at the ways that they can increase their revenue. They've been looking at ways to force ads down people's throats because they're not hitting their targets. They need to hit more and more of the deliverables to get more and more ad revenue. They need to hit their deliverables for contracts so people re-sign and believe Twitch is a good ad delivery system. More and more, what you need to understand that, again, I'm doing an esports gospel on it. I've been writing down some notes, got a notepad over there, but I'm going to talk about the misuse of the word community. Twitch maybe at some point might have been a community, might have been a cool way for like people to like reach out and talk to each other. You know, I'm talking to my community now, talking to you guys. We're all kind of like, you know, virtually hanging out. I'm going over some stuff. You'll get my opinions in real time. You know, we can do anything on this platform. It's basically giving me public access cable, except I can be on anytime I want, and you can tune specifically into me, and you don't have to watch, you know, some fucking lunatic dressed as Jesus Christ, you know, taking phone-ins. Which, by the way, spoiler, that'll be straight fire content. I might start doing that. Unfortunately, what's happened is it's changed. It's no longer that. It's an ad delivery system. And my content is neither here nor there at Twitch. As long as I'm ad-friendly, which I'm probably not. You know, as long as I stay within certain parameters, they can make it so you see ads. And Twitch would rather I was playing ads. They'd rather every time I had a break, I played ads. Every time, so, you know, they would just much rather that was the thing that was going on. They don't really care about, you know, subs are good, they take 50%, but ultimately they'd rather I was spamming ads every time I had a break. It used to be, by the way, back in the day, this is how far Twitch has fallen, you used to get banned if you spammed ads. I know many of you won't remember this. I know of streamers, because they've told me, and I've seen it, where streamers have been warned for showing too many ads. And it's insane, right? They've literally been told, if you keep spamming the ads like that to make more money, we're going to ban you from the platform. Now, it's please, we will pay you to spam the ads. That's the, you know, about turn. So anyway, today they've announced big changes about advertising and what you can and can't do. And I go and back to my last video I did on this topic where I said Twitch are going to start taking away external advertising. See, my NordVPN, my little 3%, that survived for now, but they don't want me as a streamer to go to somebody else and say, pay me X amount of money and I will advertise your product on the Twitch platform, because Twitch get none of that. They don't get a slice, but they go, but Richard is using our platform. I would say, yeah, with the community that I built, sure, and you do take 50% of the subs, don't you? So, I don't know, Twitch. I think I've been a pretty good business partner to you down the years. Never been banned, never had a warning, never violated any community guidelines, never had a copyright strike. You'd think, you know, I'm a mature audience. You would think I would be like the guy that they would cater to. No. I'm small time. They don't give a fuck about me. I went years not even being able to, I didn't know who my manager was, who I could talk about whether a rule change was going to affect me or not. Couldn't give a fuck. Gone are those days. Gone are the days where it was like Too Good used to work at Twitch, Trance used to work at Twitch, all these like legends in the scene. Tosspot used to work at Twitch, Smix used to work at Twitch, Fifth Lauren used to work at Twitch, my boy Cody, I think he's still there actually. I knew people, I could talk to people could give me insight. They used to pay those people to just go to events and sit you down and say, hey, how you finding Twitch? Any feedback? Any blah, blah, blah. All of that's gone. It went to this Amazon corporate model, and now it's an ad delivery system. And I know that. And listen, I get something out of it. I get money, sure. I get to build my brand, sure. I get advertised my Substack, all that other stuff, right? But what they've done today is it's absurd, but it was coming. It was always coming. Let's get into it. These changes are going to kill a lot of financial opportunity for people on Twitch, and it is going to precipitate, mark my words, another exodus to another platform that won't do this. Because actually, right now, the balance of power in terms of if you're a big streamer capable of getting external sponsors, you want to be on YouTube probably. It's hard to imagine a world where staying on Twitch could be good for you financially. So they came up, they said we're changing the branded content guidelines. They want to make it clear that branded content is product placement, endorsements, sponsored gameplay, unboxings that you paid for, channel sponsorships, branded channel panels, and brand logos on stream overlays. So immediately you can see, suddenly now, this is my thing, because I got a NordVPN down there. And as I said, one of the rules is that can only take up 3% of the screen. I don't know why it has to be 3. I don't know why they've constructed that number, but that logo can only take up 3% of the screen now. I don't know what it does. I don't know how it changes anything, but that's what they want. So that's what they get. Their house, their rules, right? Now, listen, NordVPN sponsor my channel. They know that my community will do the things that, like, I ask politely, you know, hey, would you sign up to this? Hey, I'm doing a Viking game stream today. If I get 250 signups, I make $5,000. I don't do things like this often. I'm not advertising Raid Shadow Legends or any of that stuff. You know, could you just go and do it? My community's very good for engagement. So NordVPN know that. And NordVPN's a good product. It's not even that I'm endorsing it like a shill just to do it, just for the money. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is I'm endorsing a product that I like, right? Now, I have to now check a box because I'm sponsored by an external sponsor. I now have to check a box saying that the content you are watching is branded. It's branded content. It's not branded content at all. NordVPN do not endorse what I say. Like, I want to make that abundantly clear. NordVPN is on my stream. I'm sure if I sat down with the NordVPN executives, yeah, really, governments, yeah, government corporations, they probably no, they would not endorse that shit at all. Like, they don't, you know, we're not simpatico, we're just business partners, right? And we don't completely overlap with everything. That's how it used to be. You could be like that, you know, makes sense. But now I have to tell my audience that this is branded content. The content you are about to see is in some way ideologically compromised because I have a sponsorship logo, a 3% big sponsor logo on my stream, which seems absurd because I'll just say this. Like, if NordVPN call me up on the phone and they go, oh, Rich, and I go, oh, yeah, Mr. Nord, those things. Listen, you said Activision Blizzard were a shower of cunts the other day, and we secretly agree, obviously, by the way, for the purposes of the lawyers, this is a skit. We secretly agree in this fantasy of yours that you're concocting to illustrate a point. But we can't ever sort of have our affiliates, say that publicly. So could you not say that? And I'd go, but I think they're a shower of cunts, and I think it's important that people call them a shower of cunts, Mr. Nord. And Mr. Nord goes, well, look, we're at a bit of an impasse because we just can't be around that. So I'll finish a sentence for you, Mr. Nord. Take the fucking sponsorship and go away, right? If you want editorial input into my private thoughts and opinions, there's no amount of money that can buy that. But I have to tell my stream, supposedly before they come on, that what they're about to see might be some ideologically compromised, shill bullshit, which I don't like it. I don't like that at all. There it is. It shows you how to do it. Then let's get down into this bit, because that's a minor gripe. Honestly, there's better material to come. Permitted and prohibited brand sponsorship formats. So it shows these are the formats permitted. You can have a branded panel on your channel page, i.e. the things no one looks at. And by the way, Twitch is so old in terms of its layout and the way it does things. It's like it's got an embarrassing tech deficit compared to what most websites look like. Showcasing products in your stream background. Wow, gee, thanks, Mr. Twitch. Can I have something on my fucking shelf in my room? You're gonna allow me that? Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. The fucking nerve, by the way, of implying that, like, I need to disclose, like, something if it's in the background in my house. Like, fuck you. Then including links to other sites that promote things. Wow, you're going to let me use the Nightbot. Thanks again, Mr. Twitch. Discussing, endorsing, or unboxing products or services. Great. Again, I can still hold physical objects in my hands and talk to my audience about them. Just as fucking well, really, when you think about it. And then playing sponsored games will still be allowed. Yes, okay, but what won't be? Well, logos on stream. We've already comically talked about that. On-screen brand overlays are limited to 3% of screen size. And it shows, there it is, the little purple thing. Yeah. By the way, can somebody who's got, like, either really good math skills or one of them, like, you know, you like that guy in Cube who can do all the prime numbers, can someone measure the surface area of that logo in their example and tell me if it's 3%? It's petty, but if I had the brain for it, I'd do it immediately.
Editor Griff here. So I took the image into Photoshop and selected all the purple pixels, which Photoshop tells me comes out to about 2,881 pixels, where the total image is about 80,892. So that is 3.56% in total. Unbelievable. All right, back to the video.
Right, anyway. Formats limited or not allowed. Inserted burned-in video ads. Streamers may not insert video ads directly into their streams. So this is, if I have an ad, I mean, like, because in YouTube land, I don't want to bore you with stupid terms, right? But in YouTube land, you have, like, you know, your pre-roll, your mid-roll, your end roll. Basically, it's a video you play. So a pre-roll is you do it before your content starts on YouTube. Your mid-roll is just in the middle of it while the good bit happens. You get 30-second want to win skins, and you go, oh, for fuck's sake. And then end roll is at the end of a video. You just get a little outro, you know. And that's what you do. And you get these videos, and you have to use them. That's how you make your money, essentially. And so YouTube, I think it's got a disclosure button, but that's it. That's about as far as it goes. As long as you're not advertising anything that's against their TOS, you can do your mid-roll, your fucking pre-roll, all of that stuff. Now, if you play a video on Twitch, you're breaking Twitch rules. So if you've got a video and you want to just say, oh, hey, look, this sponsor's giving me a video to play it, yeah. Nope, can't do it. Which, for a lot of influencers, for a lot of people that are paying the influencers, that is going to be a problem. And I'll get to a broader point in just a second. Then, inserted burned-in display ads. Streamers may not insert display or banner ads directly into their streams. And you can see there, look, it shows a banner, doesn't it? Right? So I can't have a banner of things down there. And you think about, like, some people have, like, really big sponsors that make a range of products, and they put down, like, like say it's a peripheral sponsor, so there's a keyboard and there's a headset and a mouse, and these are all the latest things. So you can't do that, right? That's gone. You can't have a banner. It's got to be this tiny little 3%. Then inserted burned-in audio ads. So if there's an audio ad that pops up, by the way, I don't think I've ever seen one of these natively, but, like, if I could just have somebody pop up, like, with a super cool voice, like, what's that dickhead called? Fucking Corpse Bride or whatever his fucking name is. Not Corpse Bride. You know that cunt. Fuck him. Anyway. Yeah, he comes up. Yeah, Corpse Husband, that's it, Whatever. Close. He'll just say, look, bro, I did buy this thing, it's super cool, and my voice is cool, and 4 million people thought of me because of it, right? So you can't do that no more. So hang on, right? Because Twitch seemed to have overlooked something, and it's really illustrative of how stupid everything is. Because you might go, Richard, yeah, why should the influencers have, like, banners and more than 3% of the ads? You know what the influencers are like, Richard. Oh, tell me more, audience. You know what the influencers are like. You know what they're like. They only fucking care about the money. They're there with 2 microphones and they're licking them and making noises. ASMR, calling it ASMR. It's sex noises, but we call it ASMR. And they're doing that. And then here's an ad for my other thing. And then, remember when Twitch had to tell them you can't advertise your OnlyFans? You know what these influencers are like. You give them an inch, they take a mile. They're just greedy bastards. And I go, listen, preaching to the choir on that one, homie. But I still think, Twitch are getting their cut. They're getting their cut of all of those subs. So, maybe that Prime doesn't feel so good anymore, Mr. Stark. But anyway, let's uphold these rules equally in an egalitarian fashion across all of the Twitch platform. Surely no industries could be hurt by this. Surely there isn't an industry about competitive video games where these things happen every single fucking stream. Oh, wait! It's esports again! My bad. This is literally every esports stream. Every single tournament stream has a banner at the bottom of their fucking sponsors. It has things that pop up. They run their own ads while Twitch is playing ads over their ads, exactly like the video stuff. So there's two roads. There's a fork in the road. There's two roads we can go down. We go down the funny road. I'm going to call it the funny road. We go down the comedy road, and the comedy road is Twitch say these rules apply to everybody. We don't care if you're an esports tournament operator, and there will be no exceptions. And now, all of those, CSGO Roll, or CS Money, or Bitskins, or whatever the fuck it is, I'm just going to sound like that guy from Kit Poker. All your money gone! All your money gone! Now I fuck your whole industry. That's what happens, guys. That's the comedy road. You cannot run a fucking esports stream. You cannot run an esports broadcast and not allow these ads to be on it. That's what people pay for. People are paid for years in advance in some cases to have these ads. Or it's a hilarious fucking road to go down. Please do. Please send us down that road, Twitch. I'm all for it, actually. I think this is stupid. I think this is petty, petulant just because you weren't getting as much money, as much of the pie as you would like. You've been cutting corners all the time. I notice when I go into another tab, suddenly my fucking stream quality goes down to 144. I know when I go to some countries, I can't get 1080 because it's not offered there. It's weird that, right? You've been cutting corners and saving your pennies and taking more and more of the subs, and that's all fine. It's your platform, your house, your rules. I'm supporting it. I'm still be here. I'ma still be here. I built up a community on this fucking community on this platform, right? So I'm here for that, right? This is where my people come to watch me live. So whatever, man. And it ain't about the money. But what this will do to the esports industry if you enforce it is you make an esports broadcast stream, it's undoable. So what happens on a broadcast? And now here is the MVP sponsored by the US Air Force. US Air Force logo, that's more than 3% right there, mate. So, sorry, that's got to go, I'm afraid. You're breaking the rules. At the bottom, when they're doing their desk segments and the banner comes up at the bottom, you've seen the banner. They come up, don't they, and they say, go here, sign here, join up, sign up for this, whatever it is, whatever they're advertising, Then, obviously, as well, when they thought they'd cheese it, so when they go to their ad, sometimes they'll run a video, right, and it's not Twitch, you'll notice, because the ad goes small as Twitch makes their ad big. So you have an ad within an ad, right? You've seen that. I know you've seen that, right? So that can't happen anymore. So that's got to stop. But people are paying for that. Yeah, DHL got to go. All of these things have to go if we're going to enforce the rules. So I'm all about going down that path. I think that's hilarious. I love it. Kill this industry. Fucking stone dead. Would absolutely, I can't wait. I'd just love to see it. Would love to see in the middle of an esports tournament, I'll just use ESL because fuck them, right? I'd love to see in the middle of an ESL tournament like IEM Katowice and Carmack's out there doing one of his speeches again. And then just as he's doing the speech, a logo pops up, and Twitch just turns it off. I would fucking love it. And they've got a week ban, and now no one on Twitch can watch their fucking tournament. They're streaming exclusively on YouTube. I would fucking love it. I can think of nothing that I'd cry with laughter. I would turn my stream on immediately, just I would just be cackling. Like, it would be so good. So please do this, Twitch. If you're serious about this, do enforce it equally. Now, there is another fork in the road, right? We've talked about the comedy road. Here's the fucking, what do I even call this road? The weaklings road, right? Because here's what actually happens, right? And this is the definitely 90% likely outcome. Twitch will say, of course, this doesn't apply to tournament broadcasters, sports events, like the fucking games awards, all the same shit, boom, boom, ads, logos, banners. Obviously, it doesn't apply to those guys. It only applies to the individuals, the influencers. And then we start asking the question, well, why? Why are there exceptions for people and not? And then what Twitch will probably do is they'll say, well, you know, most of those people pay. And then you go, but you say most of them. Who does? Who doesn't? Now we start getting into an era of, well, we've got a right to demand transparency because you are enforcing rules on these people over here, but you're not enforcing them on these people over here. We should probably have a talk about that, right? Because why are you letting them get away with doing all of these things when you ban this guy and they'll ban a beloved streamer for doing it? A beloved streamer will slip up. You watch a beloved streamer, it'll be, you know, I don't even know what a beloved streamer looks like these days, but, you know, whatever. There'll be one, a super popular streamer's gonna, like, in the middle of a stream, they're gonna, like, bring up their old overlay and it's going to have the banners and the ads and they're going to go oopsie doopsie. And because they're an influencer, they probably did do it on purpose. Just like the time that chick just pretended I was only recording when she was doing the fucking Omega lull with her ass and only got a 3-day ban. That'll happen, and then they'll ban someone and the community will flip their shit. It'll be a live stream fill thread. Spoiler, that's Twitch staff are glued to that, and then it'll be a big brouhaha on Twitter, and Twitch will stick to their guns because they have to, because they don't want someone in fucking, you know, whatever they call that mad Orwellian behavioural team they invented. They don't want them to take the flak, so they stand by it. And again, we're triggering an exodus to YouTube. These decisions are terrible and are just creating more pitfalls and issues for you. And why are they doing it? Well, they're doing it because, again, they're having a big push at the moment, Twitch. In fact, Twitch have started offering services to some of their long-standing partners where they'll get you sponsors. They'd much rather it all goes through them. They take their cut. That's what it's all about. So, two roads, neither are great, but I can dream of a world where esports gets completely shafted by this, but look, money talks, it won't happen. They might even maybe charge like them a one-time fee to ignore the rules, and they call it a broadcaster's license or an esports license or something. I'm sure they're cooking up schemes to get more fucking money out of people. And by the way, I said this a million times, if you think this sucks, and if you think the quality of Twitch streams sucks, we could have had a much better relationship with YouTube. We could have gone and supported a company like Mixer. We could have had open broadcast deals. But two things happened. One, the Overwatch deal for $90 million, which just fucks everybody in the ass. And second, the fact that you didn't like change, so you didn't want to go and use better tech. And so now everyone goes, wow, yeah, YouTube is so good. YouTube's so good. Rewind in real time, replays, 4K. Wow. This is better than Twitch, actually. Yeah, it always was, by the way. That isn't like some new tech they introduced. That was there when you were saying, but my PogChamp. So, once again, the consumers are their own worst enemy. But, whatever. Let's just pray for the outcome that murders esports. Like, I'm down. Let's get into some other stuff, because this gives me a little tee-hee-hee. They've also clarified now that there is going to be prohibited branded content categories. And some of these are interesting. We do not allow promotion of products and services prohibited by our community guidelines, which include hateful products or services. I mean, I don't even know. Do those exist? Like, helloracism.com, like, is that a thing? Like, what are those? Like, I don't even know what they are. But anyway, you can't promote products that promote hateful stereotypes or include offensive slurs. Like, so, okay. Illegal products and services, such as selling, advertising, or trafficking drugs, firearms, counterfeit goods, or other illegal goods and services. So yeah, crime. It's hard to believe there's anyone out there going, you know what would be a really good vector to sell drugs? My Twitch channel. Like, right, who in the chat wants a gram? We got a gram for you, and a gram for you, and a gram for you. And listen, I'm going to be down the park in 10 minutes, right? So you there, Super Kaijo, you ordered 2 grams of Charlie. I'll see you in the park. Yeah, you know the one. See you down. You're going to get fedded up to fuck. Like, there's already feds watching this stream. What are you talking about? No, I don't think anyone's doing that, but whatever. Like, anyway, certain gambling products. Okay, well, it's a separate link. Lots of people were getting excited about this on Twitter. They were all a brouhaha. Ooh, they're banning Gamba, they said. Ooh, they're banning the Gamba. Gamba is over. We're banning the Gamba. Nah, guys, can't be doing that now. Too much money in the Gamba, and Twitch themselves know they're one advertising campaign away from a humiliating public climb down. So we allow the Gamba, but I will read you what they said. They said, look, here's what you can't advertise when it comes to gambling, right? You can't share a referral code to a slot site with your chat. You cannot include a banner with a link to online roulette games. You cannot verbally refer your chat to a site containing dice games. Furthermore, similar to our prohibited games policy, we do not allow the sites below to be streamed on Twitch or linked in chat, and those are stake.com, rollbit.com, dualbits, Roobet. And that's fair. I've covered their stuff live on the stream. They're all dodgy, they're all dubious. Some of them accused of money laundering, all sorts of shit. So yeah, all right. But no, Gamba's not over. It gets weird because there was a CSGO tournament sponsored by Roobet that was streamed on Twitch. So, I don't know. Kind of seems a bit weird that one slipped through the net. Maybe moving forward, that's gonna be banned in line with their own policy. Yeah, it was called the Roobet Cup. Yeah, coincidence indeed. But it was streamed on Twitch, and there is another one there's another one coming. So, will that be on Twitch? Kind of seems a bit weird because that's how they're advertising their shit now, so probably should ban them too. Anyway, Gamba isn't dead on Twitch, and if you read that on Twitter, they're wrong. Unauthorized sharing of private information, such as products or services to look at private information, such as phone numbers and home addresses. There's a lot of these, like people, like, we're definitely not doxing people, bro. But if you use this program, you can, like, find out where people live. It's public information, bro. So there's some of that. Spam, scams, and other malicious conduct, such as hacking, phishing, or malware services, or services that disrupt Twitch services, such as viewbotting, fake account creation, or selling Twitch accounts, all makes sense. But then it goes on. Additionally, we do not allow the following products and services: weapons, such as firearms, explosives, and related products. Now, I lived in America for a while and, lived in an open carry state. Maybe my views are somewhat antiquated about this, but it does seem weird to me that, like, if people have a constitutional right to a firearm, the advertising around firearms seems sort of weird. Can't advertise them. We can advertise all this other heinous shit, but not a gun. It seems sort of a bit weird, but whatever. Fair enough, I guess. Idiots. Explosives. Yeah, explosives is like a really broad term. Like a fire. Like, listen, get this, okay? Richard Lewis lives in America. It's a tangled web we weave, but I admit, life is complicated. Richard Lewis lives in America, lives in an open carry state, says, yeah, I'm all right with guns. That's fine. Have your guns. Richard Lewis moves to the UK, lives in the UK before he lives in the US, wants to ban fireworks. They're just shit, and only morons like them, and they serve no practical purpose, except for people who go, like that clip of Hillary Clinton when she got fucking surprised by a balloon. I just think they're garbage, and idiots clog up the already burdened NHS at least once a year on the 5th of November when we celebrate someone trying to blow up Parliament, when in reality we should be commiserating that he failed to succeed. Yeah, and it's just dickheads in fucking, burnt hands, burnt face, kids getting hurt, miserable time. Anyway, fine with the weapons. Adult-oriented products or services such as pornography, sexual content or male enhancement products. Well, listen, it's a glib point. The irony of Twitch taking a stand. Like if I was to say, hey, if your calves age, you might need a little help now and then. Here's a referral link to Viagra. The fact, right, that's bad, but I can just go on to one of the many streamers, and if I donate $50, I'm their boyfriend, and this is all fine. I don't have a problem with the type of streamer. Yeah, I find this weird, like, to make us... I think everyone's really pure. I've noticed this puritanism creeping back into the world, where everyone's like people talk about pornography. It's like, it's just become objectively harmful again. Like, it's a really strange attitude. People say that, like, people just sit on Joe Rogan, you know, like people who are like, you know, like experts in, you know, other fields, and they just go, it's objectively, pornography is just objectively harmful. It just objectively breaks your brain. It's just objectively bad for you. It's like, why are we doing this right-wing Christian 80s nonsense again? Why is that come around? Don't know. Bit weird. And look, see, this is what I mean. Look at the brainwash people in the chat. It is. Kumas are bad. People get addicted to it. People get addicted to all sorts of things. What are the benefits? I mean, what's the benefit to a masturbational aid? Well, people shouldn't masturbate as well. And there we are. And we're back to the 80s. So, yeah, my palms are going to go hairy, right, guys? Yeah, it's dangerous. Really bad for people. Just pathetic, isn't it? Anyway, to think we spent decades trying to drag the industry out of the sewer so the people who work in the industry can have, like, workers' rights and work in an environment where they have, like, bodily autonomy and they're not forced to deal with the likes of Ron Jeremy and scumbags like this, only for people to turn around and, like, pretend it's, like, just an objectively harmful product in and of itself. Insane. Do I have the right to smoke? Oh yes, that's different. That's your body, your choice. Can I jerk off over porn? No, it's bad for you. Okay, cheers. Good. Great talk. Right, anyway, tobacco and tobacco-related products such as cigarettes, e-cigarettes, vape pens, and chewing tobacco. Seems kind of crazy that we can't do that anymore. That's fine, I guess. I suppose tobacco is deemed universally bad, isn't it? So whatever. Certain financial products and services, such as initial coin offerings, ICOs are out, guys. Multi-level marketing and get-rich-quick schemes, like every skins advertisement I have seen, and payday loans, which is kind of interesting. I've seen lots of loan companies, like, creep into the space. By the way, you want to talk about something that's predatory and harmful? For all the anti-Kumas in the chat. It doesn't get worse than payday loans, actually. They're one of the most destructive things you can do to yourself. More than having a wank, I'll tell you that for free. Those loans at outrageous interest rates given to the needy and desperate, which puts people into some sort of financial indentured servitude for the rest of their lives from a sinkhole they can't escape, and they're deliberately designed to be that way. Yeah, I actually support that advertising being banned. But, you know, it's interesting. The ICOs and the multi-level marketing and get-rich-quick schemes. What was that one? Herbalife? I mean, Herbalife is just a mainstream sponsor. It sponsors fucking LA Galaxy. Didn't it sponsor Overwatch as well? Didn't I do a video on it called where I pretended to be Exhibit and said we put a pyramid scheme in your pyramid scheme because we heard you like pyramid schemes? I did do that, right? That was something that happened. Yeah, it's all coming back to me. So I don't know. I mean, like, you're gonna have to really clarify that shit. Medical facilities and products such as prescription drugs, medical trials, pharmacies, miracle cures, and drug treatment centers. Got a bit of bad news for you here. Medical products. One of the popular sponsors, for example, on YouTube is called, is it Keeps? Where for baldies, you start taking this pill and your hair drops out, like, not as fast. That's medical. That's a medical product. So can't advertise Keeps to the baldies no more, I guess. Okay, all right. Thanks, Twitch. Makes sense. Political content. This is the one I really wanted to talk about, including paid promotion of politicians, political parties, or issues of public debate. What does that mean? Because that, as worded there, So paid promotions for political parties, I understand. It's very clear. If you take money from a PAC in America or, some sort of form of political endorsement, you should have to disclose it. There's loads of people like that do that on Twitter, don't they? They tweet whatever Joe Biden says and say, what about this Democrats? Are we going to show MAGA that we... And they do that and they get money for doing it because obviously they're for sale. Nothing they say is real. They don't believe anything they say. So I get that. But then it says issues of public debate, promotion of politicians, political parties. So does that mean when, in 2024, when the DNC want to pretend that gamers aren't Russian bots again, and they trot AOC out to play a video game with Hassan, is that going to be okay? Will that be all right? Imagine that will be all right, won't it? I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. Are they going to have to disclose? Because they should have to disclose. I'm only doing this for your vote. In fact, every time a politician opens their mouth, the world would be a better place if a politician had to say, what's about to come out of my mouth is most likely a lie designed to get your vote. If that was a legal requirement, the world would be much better off. Again, that can be about that, right? Definitely can be about that. But I guess, obviously, if they pay for it. So to be clear, using the platform in a sneaky way to tell you it's super important that you vote Democrat, that you vote because this election, democracy's sacred, as long as you're a Democrat. Doing that over and over again for it's going to be insufferable in 2024. That's fine, I guess. Then this is just unreal because it's close to home for me. Cannabis-related products, including vaping and delivery. No more advertising bongs. And obviously, they had the freeze pipe, didn't they, over at Last Free Nation? That's gone, I'm afraid. It's banned. It's banned content. Freeze pipe is certainly a cannabis delivery system. And even though I don't work for Last Free Nation, just to, again, keep stressing that, I don't work for Last Free Nation. I don't take any money from Last Free Nation. Never paid me a cent. It is sad for them. One of their sponsors, it was going really well. People liked it. But can't do it now. Gone. Finally, we allow branded content for certain products and services, but with some restrictions. And by the way, just to come back to the political stuff, the issues of public debate, I don't get it. What do they mean? Paid? I can't pay somebody to be on my stream to debate? Is that what they're saying? I don't understand. It's a mess. It's a mess. Anyway, but alcohol's in. So good news, guys. Out of the list of all of the things they've banned, like porn and medical stuff and gambling and cannabis, they've let you can advertise the unquestionably most harmful substance on the list. So the thing that is linked to almost every instance of violent crime, the thing that is linked to mental health problems, physical health problems, the thing that we actually have a crisis of because we've come out of COVID and the isolation forced people to drink more and more and more to the point where in the UK, for example, we've had something like a 20% spike in cirrhosis cases in people under 50. Yeah, the good news is the really, really bad thing, which, spoiler, I also fucking love it. It's great, but, drink responsibly, etc. But I fucking love it, mate. But anyway, it's gone. That's in. That's in. But all the others are gone. So the bad thing, the really bad thing, the thing that is inarguably bad. I'll even meet you halfway, anti-coomers on alcohol. Yeah, it's bad, totally bad. I believe in freedom of choice, but yeah, listen, objectively, that's bad. Fucking that's okay as long as you say it's mature content. They just backtracked on everything. Well, I haven't read the tweet. When you do a stream in real time. So let's see. So naturally, I've gone over that, right? And Twitch have said, Richard stream. Quick, lads. Walk it back. Says here, today's branded content policy update. By the way, this is literally within a matter of how many hours? 2.5? 3? Yeah, so it goes from being, here's a breakdown on these things, to here's a live react Andy stream. Today's branded content policy update was overly broad. This created confusion and frustration, and we apologise for that. We do not intend to limit streamers' ability to enter into direct relationships with sponsors. I mean, whether or not you intend that would have been a direct result of what you did. And we understand that this is an important part of how streamers earn revenue. Yes, indeed. Indeed it is. We wanted to clarify our existing ads policy that was intended to prohibit third-party ad networks from selling burned-in videos and display ads on Twitch, which is consistent with other services. I don't know. Why was your statement not about that? Like, that's a lie. By the way, this is a lie. This is like a classic corporate lie. Because the statement you put out doesn't even address. You even went through and listed everything and said why it's bad and why you can't. But if it was just about burnt-in ads, like, why have I still got to lower my thing to 3% then? What's that got to do with anything? We wanted to clarify our existing ads policy that was intended to prohibit third-party ad networks from selling burned-in videos and display ads on Twitch, was consistent with other services. We missed the mark with the policy language, and we'll rewrite the guidelines to be clearer. Thank you for sharing your concerns, and we appreciate the feedback. We'll notify the community once we've updated the language. I mean, it's hard not to believe that it's nothing to do with potential backlash. Like, as in people were walking out. But you have to understand as well, I see a lot of people say things like, oh, the backlash was too much community backlash. Like, the thing that would have hurt them is, like, big streamers, like, going to YouTube. And YouTube would have been like, deliver them unto me. Bring me the child. That's what they'll be saying. So, yeah, they would have fucking loved it. And by the way, all this tells you, right? I hate to break it to everybody. All this tells you is they wanted to do this because that doesn't, even the excuse doesn't make sense. They realized they can't, that people would lose their shit about it. And now they want it back. So they either do it again later or they have to come up with another fucking scheme to try and save the money. I don't know. Like, it's just fucking, it's so dumb. So people might still leave. By the way, you may remember as well, because I covered that too, when Twitch came back and said the only people that are going to be allowed to retain the 70% share, because that was like the upper echelons got 70% of Twitch subs, mere peons got 50%. They said, like, basically, eventually everyone's going to be down to 50. Right? If you know, that's it. There's no more 70s. No. If your contract's expired, if you're on 70 and you're not contracted, you're back on 50. And YouTube just came out and said, like, we let people keep 70 across the board. So, you know, YouTube are 100% watching to see how they can capitalize on this. And I gotta say, like, I think probably if you're a big streamer, maybe YouTube is the better place. Like, Twitch might just be a better place for, like, small streamers right now. Because the one thing I'll say is, I still think discovery on YouTube is a nightmare. I think it's bad on Twitch, but I think it's a nightmare on YouTube. Like, I couldn't even tell you, like, okay, one of their big streamers is streaming. How do I get to that page? I literally, I'm not like a fucking tech boomer in that sense. I'm certainly a boomer, but I'm not a tech boomer. I literally couldn't even tell you, like, how to do it, like, if I had to explain it to you. So the idea of me, like, stumbling across, like, a new streamer is ridiculous. Meanwhile, by contrast, their video stuff, discoverability's pretty decent. It's got worse the last few years, but, like, I still get, like, a video occasionally with like 200 views, like, recommended to me based on my interests. It's clear that there's still a chance for you if you make certain type of content. Like, I remember, obviously I watch, like, a lot of games reviewers. You know, I probably should have been a games reviewer instead of wasting my life on esports, but, you know, I watch a lot of the good games reviewers. You know, I've recommended, like, Grimbeard to a bunch of people, but obviously, you know, your Mandalore and Joseph Anderson back when he was active and stuff like that, you know. And I got recommended, and he's blown up now, but I got recommended, this was ages ago, I got recommended, like, Mortismal Gaming is what it was called. It was just some guy, he makes a video every day, sometimes 2 or 3 a day, depending on what he's talking about. He's pretty big now. He's like I think he's got like 200,000, maybe 300,000 subs or something, and loads of people are like, oh yeah, he's my favourite now, no bullshit. And like, Mortismal's gimmick is he only reviews games after he's got 100% of the Steam achievements. I saw, you know, he's made it because I saw a Reddit thread on games saying Mortismal uses the Steam achievement unlocker. They were accusing him of being a fraud. So you know he's made it. Like, he's obviously famous. If anyone out there hates you enough to just call you a fraud, yeah, you've done it. You've arrived. Welcome to the internet. Isn't it great? So, but anyway, yeah, Twitch, a nightmare, but the nightmare is on hold for now.